Ladies and gentlemen, tonight it's really a big pleasure. I have Bruno together with me. Hi, Bruno. How are you?
Hello, Greg. I'm good. How are you? Thank you for the invitation. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Super happy, and I am thrilled, and I am also super happy to spend the next 30 minutes together with you. Brazilian guy really focused on customer experience. I am quite sure it will be all about creativity as the number 10 when we are speaking about soccer or football for our friends in Europe. And therefore, I am full of joy starting this discussion, this game together with you. But before we deep dive in the Phigital experience, that's the topic of today, I would like really to learn a bit more about you. And therefore, Bruno, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Bruno Guimarães. I'm from Brazil, São Paulo, and I'm one of the founders of the biggest community of the biggest CX community in Brazil. So in 2017, I created the Amigos of CX, Amigos, Friends of CX. That is a place where anyone can join, any professional from the customer experience or any professional from other areas can join us to really discuss about customer experience, how we can do, how we can improve the market capabilities, how we can do benchmarkings, how we can use the best tools in order to accelerate a CX program. So the idea is really to get together with the markets and somehow try to accelerate the market maturity, because in Brazil, we still have a very mature market. We're still in the moment of people really understanding the difference between customer experience, customer service, CRM. So we are still in that phase. But on the other hand, we see a lot of opportunities here. So we see like the big companies really hiring a lot of people to take care of customer experience teams. We see a lot of tools emerging in the market to help deliver a better experience as a technology. So we really, in the moment, I like to say that we are in a hot spot right now, but we still have some challenges to overcome. And that is, in my opinion, that's basically the education of the market, because people really need to understand what is behind customer experience. So my mission with the community is really to get together the most people in order to leverage the discussion, leverage the word of mouth about the topic, and really try to accelerate the transformation, the knowledge, and the capabilities of our professionals in order to do a better job. But even though we are very mature, I really believe that we can become a reference, a worldwide reference regarding CX. So Brazil is really a powerful market when it comes to customer experience.
Thank you very much, Bruno. And I really like the mission and the vision of Amigos do CX. I will join, even if I am not in Brazil, because as you are explaining that, it means people will get a lot of value from the community and they can bring their value into the community. And speaking about values, I would like to learn also a bit more about you. And therefore my question, which are the values that drives you in life?
Awesome question. I really like to, since I build a community, I'm the kind of person that really like connecting people to business opportunities, connecting professionals, connecting partners. So I'm really the type of the person that really likes to observe, to really see what's happening in a quiet mode, looking, listening, and trying to get the most out of it. And with that, I really like to help people advance in their objectives, in their challenges. So I'm really the type of person that really likes to help the next one. So empathy for me is like must have, because putting yourself in the other one's shoes is really important to really understand what they're going through before judging them, because unfortunately it's very common to first we judge, then we try to understand what the people are going through. And that is a big mistake because, I mean, each one has our problems, challenges, happiness. I mean, we all facing all these kind of things in our daily lives. So sometimes we are in a bad moment, and we just need to understand that. We just need to listen to make ourselves available for the next one in order to talk, to understand, to listen. And sometimes all we need to do is to listen to someone, and that's the best and that's going to be something really big for that person because of the moment that they're facing too. So I really try to make myself the more human as possible, the more empathetic as possible, to really try to help others, to really try to understand what they're doing. And I believe that is the reason I really love customer experience, because customer experience is all about empathy, is all about standing on other one's shoes, listening to the customers. So when I realized that customer experience has all these values and are all my values, so that was the time that I was love at first sight. So it really makes sense for me to really work with customer experience, because my values is my ideas that I have in mind that I put in my job. So I really try to help. I really try to make myself available for others in order to help them.
I really like what you're saying. And when I was listening to you, I remembered one guy, I don't know the name, but he said something like, people are there not to listen to, but people are there to provide answer, but other people want to be listened to. And
exactly, yeah.
And therefore I fully understand what you are saying. And thank you very much for this introduction.
And I believe wisdom is basically know how to listen and learn how to really see what is really happening, and talk less and do more action. I believe that. So once you're listening, in order to understand what people are saying, what people want to achieve, you need to listen. You need to understand, because if you don't understand, you're probably not going to deliver the right solution so listening is the first step. Yeah, the first step in order to really create a solution. So if you are a good listener, you're probably gonna achieve better solutions, because you're gonna probably understand more what is the problem and how to overcome them.
I totally agree, and it's great, and I really enjoy discussing with you. But now let's go really to the topic we wanted to discuss. It's about the Phigital experiences. And yes, Phigital came from the word physical and digital, but everybody's speaking about that. Could you please explain to us what should we really understand under Phigital consumer or Phigital experience?
Yes. I really love the subject about Phigital consumer. The first time I got in contact with this subject, with this topic, was around 2017. That I have a background in marketing and digital transformation. So that was the time that I really understand what was a digital concept means, and it makes total sense. So I really believe that going back in the years, so in 1990, when the internet came, especially in Brazil, became popular, it was very clear that I was on the physical world or I was on the digital world. So we needed to take the action to, okay, I'm going to log in at 2 o'clock. I'm going to be logged in the afternoon. So we had the action to really move from one environment to the other. So the boundary was really clear that they exist, the physical world and the digital world. And once we start to see the shift in the technology, in the smartphones, the iPhone starting all this movement in 2007, we saw these barriers really becoming invisible, because the phone made ourselves to become connected like 24 hours. So the actions that we needed to make before that I'm going to be logged, I'm going to log in, it never happened anymore, because I mean the smartphone was there, and once the smartphone was on, you were connected already. So with that, we start to see a lot of new technologies, a lot of transformations, where the consumer didn't really had the conscious that they were in a physical world or in a digital world, because for them was like organic, was native. So they really they were just going through a journey, and in that journey, sometimes they were in the physical world, sometimes they were in the digital world. So let's say, for example, the Uber experience. So we start in the digital world, in the app. So in the app, you can add where you want to go. You're going to have the information about how much you're going to spend, how much time you're going to take there, who is the driver, what is the car, and that is totally digital. Once the cars get there to pick you up, then you go to the physical world. But all the information is the digital. So if you get into the car, and you probably, if you don't want, you don't even have to say hi to the driver, because he has all the information. So right now, I'm in the physical, inside a car, going through point A to point B. So I'm in the physical world. Once I get to my spot, I'll leave the car, and I'll be back to the digital world to check if my service was finished, and if everything is clear, if the driver is not leaving it open and just driving around and making my budget going up. So I came back to the digital to really end my service with Uber. So we start in the digital, we go to the physical, then we come back to the digital. So the digital concept is this journey where we're gonna move from physical to digital in many touch points in the same journey. And this is possible because of technology, because I mean, with all the technology that we have, most of the service, most of the products, we can either consume it online or on a physical. And if, okay, Bruno, I want to buy a car, that's always going to be a physical experience. Okay, but the journey to buy a car, you're going to go to the physical and to the digital. Okay, today I decided I want to buy a car. So first thing I want to do is probably going to go in Google, on websites, on reviews, to really go after information about the car that I really want to buy. So my first step is going to be in the digital. Probably my third step, because on my second step, probably I'm gonna search for friends that have the same car that I wanted to buy it, in order to understand what are their feelings about that car, to really understand if the real clients are really satisfied with the car or not. Once I get to the dealership, it's probably one of my last steps, because I know all the informations, and I'm only going to the dealership to really see the car in person, physically. And if when I go to the dealership, if all the perception that I created in my research makes sense, I'll probably gonna buy the car immediately. Or I'll go back home, I'll do a little more research to really make sure that is the right car. So the last mile, the buying process, the conversion, is gonna be in the physical, because it's a car. And today with technology, we are already seeing people buying cars online. So, I mean, so the Phigital, we really need to focus on the whole experience and on the different touch points that we go through on that experience. So that is it's a basic concept, but today it makes a lot of sense because of the whole technology of the hyper connection that we are all facing, that we are living in. And so I believe that this every day is the boundary is more visible than ever, because I mean, today for me in my head, whenever I go through this experience, I'm not thinking, okay, now I'm on the physical, okay, now I need to be connected because it's going to be connected. It's totally organic. It's totally, I mean, for me, it's the same as a consumer in the experience. So I mean, so that's why I really love the Phigital, because it's how we can use technology as an enabler to really make this transformation, to really deliver a effortless, a seamless experience to our clients.
I think what you're saying, it totally makes sense. And it clearly shows with your two examples, Uber, but also buying a car, that nowadays companies cannot think only in physical or only in digital. And from your point of view, how is it possible to create the best possible result out of it? Because what you're saying, I can understand that. For some personas, you go online, you search for the car, then you ask your friends, and then you go to the dealership. Older people perhaps goes directly to the dealership and then ask them and try to check that. But then when they go home and then start checking that. How is it possible to create the best result out of these two different environments?
I believe, first of all, is really to understand who is your clients, who you're selling to, who are you engaging to, who are the personas? Because I mean, in one business, I can have different personas. I can have the ones that really love to be on the physical in a store, have the physical experience, and can have a persona that really loves the digital one, that really hates to go to a shopping, that really hates to go to a store, and really wants to buy everything online. So it's really important to really understand who is your clients, what are the expectations, and what kind of interactions that they usually do with the company. So with that, we can create clusters and strategies focusing on the type of personas that we have. So it's really how we can really have information in order to deliver a more personalized experience for the client. Of course, we cannot do like experience journey for every client, so we can transform that into clusters with same characteristics. But if you don't have the information, if you don't have the knowledge about who is buying with you, who is your client, who is your consumer, you probably won't know what are the best ways to connect with them, because you can create like what is the best process in your mind in the company perspective, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the best process for the client. So we really need to change the focus and to really understand what are the expectations, what are the clients, how is their journey, and what are the moments in that journey there is opportunity for us to really make a change and deliver a better experience for them. So, like you said, some personas will prefer to go into digital, some personas will prefer to go into the Phigital experience. Others are going to prefer 100% physical, but it's really to understand how we can use technology in order to deliver a effortless experience for our clients.
You mentioned that several times, and therefore I think it makes sense to ask now this question. You are speaking about technology as quasi the support to create these experiences. What's your view now that we are speaking about Web 3.0, virtual reality, augmented reality? It means we are moving much more in a digitalized world.
Yeah, totally. I mean, and that is the technology disruption, right? So one thing that seems really obvious, that what I'm about to say, but especially in Brazil, we see a lot of that, as people using the technology as a solution, not as an enabler. And that is a big problem, because again, if we use the technology as a solution, we probably don't have the information, and we probably don't have the customer point of view in order to deliver what they need. So we are focusing on the company itself. So me as a company, I'm thinking that this technology will solve my problems, my process problems, will help me deliver better experience in my mind. But in the customer mind, that's not what we want. We need something like easier. So whenever we buy a technology as a solution, we need to shift all over the process in order to use the technology. So we became like, so the technology is the leader, and then the whole company needs to adapt to the technology. And that doesn't make sense because you're spending a lot of money and you're not solving your problems. So you're using that technology in the way that the technology should be used. So again, we need to have the information about the customer. What are the steps they're going through in order to get to the final result, the conversion, to the relationship with us. After I have all this information, after I understand what are the challenges, what these clients want to overcome in this relation, I can think of what kind of technology will help me accelerate this process. So, okay, in this touch point, if I have a technology that will help me make the customer have less clicks in order to buy the product, is going to be a better experience, and for me, it's going to be better because I will generate more sales, more revenue, and things like that. So technology is a must-have in the moment that we are facing right now. We have a lot of opportunity. We have a lot of technologies. So we have a lot of things that we can use it in our favor. But we first really need to understand why we are using which technology at each touch point. So it's really important to map all this before buying, in order especially to buy the best solution and the most cost effective for the business.
Which is your preferred Phigital experience?
I'm not sure it's my preferred one, but ones that really impact me is on the. I didn't went through the experience, but I saw the case study. That is I believe was in Korea, South Korea. We have something in Brazil similar, but it's not the same. I'll explain both of them. But in South Korea, they have this in the subway. They have this store. It's a real store. So you get in the store, you have all the structure, but inside you don't have any product. It's full of LEDs, big screens, where you buy online. So you go into a store buying online. So that is like, for me, is like the top notch for the Phigital experience, because I mean, you're in the physical store buying online, and you have the option to really, okay, I want to take it. Okay, I buy online, I'll grab it and go, or I can buy it online and send it to my place, because I'm on subway, I'm on my way to my home, so I can just buy online and send it to my place. In Brazil, we have something similar here in São Paulo. It's also in the subway. The difference that we don't have the store, the physical store. We only have the big screens where I can buy perfume, shampoo, conditioner from a big brand in Brazil. So I'm waiting for my subway. There's nothing I can do. I just need to wait. Why not buy a perfume? Why not buy a shampoo? Or I need to buy a gift for someone. I'm on my way to my home. I don't need to go to a shopping. I don't need to go to a store. I just can use that moment that is useless and buy something. So I believe that this kind of solutions is really what's going to be mind-changing. And also comparing that the physical and the digital world, I also see there's a fast fashion company in Brazil called Amaro, and they are very digital. So they have the stores in shopping centers, but they also have the app. And if I'm a client to them and I go to the physical store, my experience of buying will also be on the app. So they have big computers on the store, and they don't have the cashiers. They don't have. They have the attendants to help them, but to close the sales, I need to log into my app or to their computers and log into my app from their computers and finish my buying online. And I can choose, okay, I can take it now, or no, I want to be delivered at my place in the next 2 hours. So it's a mix. and the mix is something that is really important, because once I got into contact with the Phigital topic, there was a big fight, especially in the advertising environment, saying that, okay, the digital will kill the physical world, especially the advertising. So people will not respond, the advertisers won't buy a newspaper, won't buy a TV, because they don't have the metrics, they don't have the measurements to really bring the information. In the digital world, we have everything, we can track everything. So in the beginning, we had the discussion about, okay, it's better online, it's better offline, it's better digital, it's better physical. And the good thing is today that everybody realizes that it's a mix. It's important to have the physical, it's important to have the offline, but it's also important to have the online. So we can combine all this information in order to deliver better experience. So the discussion about online, offline doesn't make sense anymore, because we need to combine both. I mean,
sure.
Some experience is going to be much better in the physical. For example, if I want to buy a clothes, it's much better to wear it, to have it, to make it sure that it's good on me. And on the online, it's not possible. Okay, I can order, I can put on me. If I don't like it, I can deliver. Okay, but look how much effort I have in this, all in the digital one. So I think when you can mix both, I think it's the best solution.
It totally makes sense. And I think you are already speaking about futuristic solution, but the last question I would like to ask about the Phigital experiences and what we are speaking in 10 years from now about Phigital experiences.
Right now, the metaverse, I have the feeling that we are going to the same direction as the beginning, as in 1990, where we had the boundaries, but now different boundaries. Now we are with metaverse, people are going to be living in the digital world and going to take the action to go to the physical world. So it sounds a little bit crazy, but if the metaverse really move in the speed that they're moving and delivering what they're promising, the new generation is probably going to be like, they're gonna grow in this metaverse environment, and for them it's gonna be much native or natural to start on the digital and then take action to go to the physical world. Like, sounds a little bit nonsense, but that's a little bit of my perspective when I see the metaverse, because in the metaverse you're gonna have all this personalized experience. I can buy my own shoes, that I'm the only one they're gonna have these Nike shoes. I can wear my clothes that only I'm gonna have that clothes. So we're gonna start to see people have like different lives. I'm gonna have my life in the metaverse with my clothing, my house, my car, and everything that I consume in the physical. And I also have my physical that is completely different from my digital. So I'm really anxious to see what's gonna happen with the metaverse in the future, if that's gonna really make sense or not. I'm a little afraid, I would say, but at the same time a little anxious to see what's gonna happen, because I mean, technology is really accelerates and the disruption is really happening real fast. So tomorrow we never know what's gonna happen, and in 10 years from now, it seems like a lot of time when we talk about technology. So, and also virtual reality, augmented reality, all these kind of technologies take us to a digital world where we can live something that is not real, but looks real. So, yeah, so what I see from the next years regarding technologies is this combination of the mixed realities, where I'm gonna be living, I'm gonna travel all over the world in a virtual scenario, not in a real scenario. And that's gonna be perfect. That's gonna be like as if I was there. So I believe once we lose all those gadgets, big gadgets of the virtual reality, once the experience becomes a little bit more natural, we're probably gonna see these things happening. Say, okay, tomorrow, oh, okay, afternoon I want to go to Japan because I wanted to see some kind of sightseeing, and for me it's gonna be as the same experience as if I was physically going there. But this time I don't have to take a plane, and be like 24 hours in flying, jet lag, all this cost, language, money. I just can go from my living room. I can go to Japan and back at the same time in 30 minutes. I don't know. So I believe it's gonna be something a little bit crazy, but yeah, I see the future a little bit like that.
I love it, and I think we already have the next topic for our next podcast together, Bruno. Therefore, you are invited again. It was really a great discussion. But before we conclude this game together, still have 3 questions. The usual one: is there a book that you would like to suggest to the audience?
Yes, there's a couple of books. With the community, we launched 2 books. So right now it's only Portuguese, but we have the plans to translate to Spanish and to English. So one book is called Custom Experience, in theory and a lot of hands-on. So we connected 35 professionals, 5 international ones and 30 Brazilian ones. Each author wrote a chapter. So the idea of the book is really to show the audience what are these professionals doing on their jobs on a daily basis. So it's a really insightful book in order for practitioners or for whoever starting on the CX. Last month, we launched our 2nd book with the same structure, but this time focus on employee experience. So we really focus on getting this discussion in place. And a book that is an international book. I would say 2 books. One is The Outside In, that really covers all the disciplines, and every CX professional must read, because really put all the boxes in place. And the Effortless Journey, that also talks about how to create a better experience and how we can use technology as well to reduce the gaps and to become seamless and effortless journeys.
Thank you very much, Bruno. And the next question, and I think quite a lot of people will contact you, because speaking about the metaverse and what will happen and going to Japan, it's really exciting what you were saying. What's the best way to contact you?
Through LinkedIn. So Bruno Guimarães, can find me there. And please contact me. I'm the type of, as I said in the beginning, I really like this community environment. I really like to connect, to listen, to talk to new people, to listen to new stories. So please feel free to connect me, to send me doubts, questions. We'd love to talk to everyone.
And do you have a web page of Amigos do Brasil that you can share, or we can put in the show notes?
Yeah, amigosdocx.com.br, and also on LinkedIn. And we also have a Telegram group. It's all in Portuguese, but anyone's more than welcome to join us. And it's on Telegram where all the discussion really happens. So it's the live discussion, let's say like that, where people really send their doubts, invite people for benchmarking. There's all the discussion, live discussion happening.
Thank you very much. And now we are really coming to the last question, the last opportunity to score a great goal after at least the hat-trick that you already scored. It's Bruno Golden Nugget. It's something that we discussed or something new that you would like to leave to the audience.
I would say to really focus on getting as much as information as you can from the customer, to really understand what are their expectations, what are their needs, and why is this customer connecting and starting a relationship with you. But not only finding the right information, but really using that information to deliver better experience. Because if you are only collecting the information, not doing anything with that, it's better not to collect, because you're wasting your time, you're wasting the client's time, and it can really generate a big frustration for the client, because they're losing their time to really tell you what they think is wrong, what they think that you can do better to deliver them a better experience, and you're just ignoring that. So they'll be very frustrated with that. So if you're gonna do any kind of research with clients, collecting data from them, please make sure that you're gonna use that for something. Please take the actions, the necessary actions to really make the change in the customer life, to really deliver the experience, and listen to those clients, because they have a lot of things to say. And if they're speaking to you, is because they really want to continue with their relationship with you. The ones that are not speaking with you, they're gonna be gone, and you're gonna not even notice it. So value all those feedbacks, really give the space for them to talk to you, listen to them, and really take action to deliver a better experience for them.
Thank you very much, Bruno. And my feedback to you, it was really an outstanding discussion. Thank you very much. We see and we feel the passion that you have for this topic, and therefore it was really a great discussion. Thank you very much for your time, Bruno.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, our audience, for listening to us. And it was a great pleasure, great honor to be here, sharing knowledge, exchanging information. So for me, it's really was a great moment. Thank you.
Thank you. And also to the audience, I think Bruno already said everything. I don't need to add anything. If you have feedback, feel free to share it with us, with Bruno, or with myself. Happy to help the community, happy to grow together. Have a nice day, have a nice evening. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share the word of mouth. Subscribe it, share it. Until the next episode, please don't forget, we are not in a B2B or B2C business, we are in a human-to-human environment. Thank you!